Okay, so
Fine.
today, I hope you weren't wearing headphones for that. We're going to be reacting to the new Marvel Studios, not Captain Marvel. It is the Miss Marvel trailer. So we'll react to it, watch it, and then talk about it after. Trailer.
Okay, so first off, I just want to say, I get it.
You get what?
High school.
Kamala. I'm some kind of weirdo.
You were a weirdo.
Boys. Excuse me?
Yeah.
You're kind of on my show. But you're staring out the window in your little fantasy land.
Captain
Already?
Marvel right there.
Really? Come on, like...
Do I have to figure out my whole future before lunch, or is there like... Maybe they're right. I spend too much time in Fantasyland.
That is not you.
It's not really the brown girls from Jersey City who save the world. That's a fantasy too.
Did something happen to you?
No, why? Did you hear something?
Kamala? What does it feel like?
Cosmic.
Marvel's been doing good with the songs they've been getting for their trailers.
I always thought I wanted this kind of life,
Popular.
but
The
I
Moon
never
Knight trailer was
imagined
good.
any
It
of
had
this.
day and night.
Do you know what you are?
I'm a superhero.
The effects look alright, I guess. People have complained about the effects. I don't know. They're just fine. I mean, it is a TV show, not a movie. As well as I can see them being worried about people's interest in this, as they should, because it is, clearly meant for...
Teenagers.
Yeah, I would say even a younger audience than that. So I'm gonna let her talk about this in a second, because I really was most interested to get her. I was waiting for her to get in this video because she doesn't really know much about the controversy or whatever going on about this, and I don't know, being a girl, maybe it would appeal to her a little bit different. But for me, a lot of people are having a problem with the wokeness of her being Muslim or whatever, talking about how Marvel's going more on that side. For me personally, I'm somebody who usually complains about that stuff. But that is not my initial issue with this. That's not even on my radar. My thing is, for one, which I do think that's a little bit of an element of a problem, but for one, this is something that is clearly trying to be way younger and like kiddie than it needs to be. Because the Marvel movie, this shit is cringy. This shit's cringy. The devil horns in the trailer, I don't know if that's going to be in the show or if it's just a trailer edit, but that shit's cringy. And I watched, the Marvel movies have gotten more and more kid-friendly over time, being bought by Disney and all of that, and the shows as well. But the movies were a lot darker, like the Incredible Hulk movie, the Iron Man movies. Those first ones were darker, and I was watching those whenever I was a kid. I was like 8 or 9, 10, around in there, and they appealed to me just the same. So I don't need something to be dumbed down quite like this to appeal, to me as a kid personally. I think that's the way, tons of kids watch the Marvel stuff as it already is, so I don't think it need to be scaled back to this level. And then as well, this Kamala Khan character, I'm just a little bit interested, of course, because I have seen her in the Avengers game, but I would imagine not many people have, because that game kind of flopped anyway. But my issue, another one, is this character is already so similar to what we just saw, to me, in Hawkeye, with, what was her name? Kate Bishop. She's the same. This one idolizes Captain Marvel. Kate Bishop idolized Hawkeye, and it feels a little bit too familiar having those back to back, for one. So I don't know if they just brought her in here for the, we need a Muslim character. Maybe that's what they did. I don't know. I don't get that whole thing. I know some people want to identify with the character. Me personally, I just don't see it that way, and I think that's the right way to see it. I don't watch her. I don't watch Iron Man, being a white guy. When I was a kid, I idolized Iron Man. I loved the fuck out of Iron Man. it didn't bother me that he was a white guy. I never thought of like, oh, he's white and I'm black, you know, kind of, or I'm mixed. I don't watch like Miles Morales, for example, who's mixed, and think like, you know, oh man, I'm glad they finally got a mixed dude in there. I just don't see or think that way, you know. But that, you know, I don't give a shit about that. My thing is it feels too familiar and too kiddie. Whenever they could focus on either characters that are already established that we give a shit about, or I don't know, just introduce this. Just doesn't feel like it needs a full show to it. But you know, don't have to watch it. Can skip it. There's been Marvel shows I've skipped before. What was it? The Cloak and Dagger show. I didn't watch that. It just had an off feel. The Runaways had an off feeling. This kind of shit just doesn't feel like it's gonna connect in the movies in any kind of importance, you know, or the main storylines. I don't know. But yeah, so that's my take and my issue with it. You know, it just feels kind of unnecessary. I would like for their time to go towards something else, but I don't know. What were you excited for this at all? Did you like the trailer?
No, I will say her being Muslim, it doesn't bother me at all.
It's not really
like
about
the slightest.
I don't care.
I don't know if that's an issue that people are having. It is what it is. I don't care. It's interesting to see because obviously different cultures react differently. But you were saying that it feels too kiddie, and I agree that it feels too kiddie, but not because of the devil horns or whatever. I just right off the get-go where she's like dressing up and like pretending that she's a superhero. That's shit that kids do. This girl looks like she's in high school. I mean,
yeah, she's probably like 12. I mean, too young to be doing that, right?
No, I'm pretty sure she's in high school.
Okay, well, still.
She looks like she's in high school.
Maybe.
I mean, the way that she was talking to her counselor saying, you know, do I need to have my future decided before lunch? Because they do push you to decide on what you're going to do after high school. So that's what it seems like to me. And she's talking about boys. If they were 12, I don't think that should be, you know, romanticizing a shirtless guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is high school, but it's supposed to be like, it feels like one of those old Disney shows where they're like, ooh, girl and love interest. Like, they're actually like 15, 16, 17, but they are playing it like they are 13 or 14 or whatever, you know? Yeah, it does feel like way too kiddie, especially in the sense, like I said, where she was like dressing up and shit like that. I don't know high schoolers who do that. It just seems a little weird to play that into the story. I know that some people, it would make more sense if she was sitting down like watching the shows or reading the comics, which I don't think the comics are canon in the
show, but
maybe they like would make a different kind of version of them, but that would make more sense.
Yeah,
to go as far as like dressing up and shit. That's like 10 and under max.
Yeah, so I just don't know who this is going to appeal to more than the format of the way the Marvel shows already are as is, you know what I mean? And in the game, she was older and it wasn't like quite like this. She's a little bit older.
It's like you said, Disney is taking it and yeah, no, I mean, when I didn't watch like Disney Marvel stuff, obviously. I watched like Spider-Man, and I mean, I was like fucking 7 when I watched Spider-Man, and I loved Spider-Man 1 and 2. Like, I watched that all the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't need, like he said, doesn't need to be like this to grab attention. And I wouldn't even say that Marvel has created such a base for itself that they don't really even need to grab new people. What they need to do is appeal to the audience that has been around, because those are the ones who are consistently watching these shows to follow the flow of the whole MCU. They shouldn't be trying to do new shows to reel people in, because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That's not what the MCU is.
Yeah, they don't need to do that. I mean, look at this, it's 13
almost 14
views
million.
right there, almost 14 million views. But so yeah, I'm not the whole her being Muslim thing is a big, like, you know, Marvel's going too woke. And I think, you know, if you see it as like, oh, she's Muslim, it shouldn't, you know, see it as a thing, you know, then that's kind of, I don't know if I want to say racist, but that's a issue in itself. And then also, if you see like a white character, another white character Marvel show coming on, and you're like, oh, they need to do a Muslim, then that's as much as you may think that's not, you know, leaning towards an issue of racism, I see that as kind of strange as well, because you're seeing, you know, color, man, just, you know. But Yeah, so, like I said, I'm not mad at it. They're gonna have other shows out there, and I don't have to watch this, but if you're asking my take on it, I would just rather see them do something else with their time, as I said, other than this. I just don't. This, for its own show. Not excited about it. We will probably watch it. We will, because we've watched other Marvel stuff, but... And you know what? It could end up being great, because, maybe this trailer has just put it together. I've seen shit where the trailers make it look great and then it's absolutely shit, or vice versa. So
yeah, I mean, I had the same thoughts for Hawkeye. I didn't like Kate Bishop's character. I thought she was too immature and young and stupid and annoying. But I actually really liked Hawkeye. But she doesn't have like a guidance figure there, it seems.
Like a Hawkeye for
so yeah,
and it's so weird to put these back next to Hawkeye. We just had this.
This is just gonna feel too much like a
Kate Bishop,
like a Netflix show where it's like just a fucking boy meets girl, girl meets boy, high school, but with a side of they have superpowers. Like, yeah. I don't know. It almost feels like those stupid ass TV shows or movies where they're like, oh, I want to be famous one day so bad, and then one day they are, and it's not everything they hoped for, except Marvel's doing their own take on it. And It's like real, like, I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for. It's just not, it's not Marvel. It's not this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it feels like a fucking dumbass Netflix show or something that you would...
Yeah.
I mean, I hope it would prove me wrong, but I'm not impressed by the trailer at all.
But like I said, they can have different things out there. This may just be something, of course, I don't like or check out, but as long as they don't make it a habit, like I said, they got the Moon Knight trailer just came out that's coming up next, and I know I watched it. I think you watched the trailer. It looked really fucking good. We didn't do a video for it, but yeah, that shit looked awesome. So, as long as it's not all this and we still get that other stuff, then... it is what it is. So I guess that's pretty much our thoughts on the Miss Marvel. She wishes she was Captain Marvel. Don't know why. Trailer. And we will see you in the next one. Let us know what you thought about it in the comments.